Chat, if y'all don't know, y'all should know. Today, we got my man with me, 160-pounder, 8-0, 7 KOs. I'm 28 years young, Philly's own. He's with us there somewhere. I think he's coming back. There he goes. Erron Peterson, just so y'all understand who he is, but he goes by JYD, specifically my man Jay, the Junkyard Dog. Thank you so much for joining me on Fight Hype today, Jay.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
We
Yeah.
good. We can't see you right now, but we
I
can
don't
hear
about
you.
to say I don't know what's going on. Like every time I turn my phone sideways, my screen go black, so I can't see me. But as long as y'all,
We can see you and hear you. You good, champ?
all right, good. Yo, what's going on though, y'all? How y'all feeling?
Chilling.
I'm chilling. Yeah, chilling for sure, for sure. The No Holds Bar, number 5, the Philly special. And like I told y'all, we got folks from Philly that y'all know and some that y'all need to know. And my man JYD, the Junkyard Dog, is definitely somebody y'all need to know. I watched him fight up close and personal, and my man is aggressive, yeah, control, skill fighter. 160-pounder is gonna be a tough fight for anybody. But with that being said, just a question for you, real quick, Jay. You sparred Greg, right? And you've been in the ring with Greg, so. And this is an internet question, Greg, but tell the internet, for people calling him out, for the people inviting him to a fight, what should somebody be leery with about my man Greg and his skill set from what you've seen firsthand?
So, Greg, y'all can hear me, right?
Yup.
All right, good. Greg is crafty as all hell, man, and he's experienced. He actually knows his way. Like he was saying, just because somebody might look at the record and think one thing, that's not how that works. Greg is crafty. He has really good ring generalship. He's experienced, and he knows little tricks too. That if you aren't experienced enough, then he's definitely gonna fuck your whole mood up. Whether it's getting to you mentally, whether it's just him out experiencing you, things like that. So yeah, me and Greg, we bumped before, man. It was a good jump, man. It was definitely a good experience, man. Greg is uh Greg is definitely a fucking dog. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to. He going to fight. And he never turned down no fight. And I don't care what his record says. If you feel like it's something different, then go in there and show him he'll know what he's doing. If you feel like you can show him he'll know what he's doing, show him he'll know what he's doing. But anybody that comes out, y'all say whatever y'all want about Greg and his record. When that motherfucker walks out, the crowd loves Greg. The crowd fucking loves him. The crowd loves Greg Hackett. So if you feel like you about to fight Greg Hackett and then he gonna walk out and then the crowd gonna be on some bullshit, or you think, you might even think, oh, you can win the crowd over. You're not gonna win the crowd over with Greg. And on top of that, even if y'all didn't see his last fight, I was there for his last fight up close and personal. Greg is a fucking entertainer in the ring as well too. So he's gonna get the crowd involved in the fight. He's gonna get the crowd laughing. He be in the middle of the fight bidding. He do his thing, man. Greg is at home in the ring, and that's a dangerous motherfucker. And if not, if you don't think it's dangerous, at the very least, it's somebody that you need to be concerned and wary of, because somebody who's comfortable in the ring, and then an individual who really, if you want to be honest, boxing terms, he don't got shit to lose anyway. So he'll fuck you right on up, and even if he don't fuck you up, he gonna make you fucking look bad. He gonna make you look bad as shit. So at the end of the day, if you know boxing, you know boxing, and if you don't, that's okay to not know boxing either. I'm not just saying this because Greg is on the jack right now. You know what I mean? Even if he wasn't, I would have said the same thing. And if Greg, and if I had something else to say about Greg, I'd have said it. No, Greg, my man in real life. And he knows boxing. He knows boxing. He knows what he's talking about, and he knows what he's doing. So yeah.
Say less. Say less. Just wanted to make sure we got a firsthand perspective of somebody who shared the ring with you, Greg, to let the internet know for sure. Because I seen Jay fight. I just told y'all the record 8-0, 7 KO. So firsthand perspective from somebody who's definitely in the mix and getting busy in that ring. But again, Greg, you're welcome to hang out with us as long as you want. If you got to dip out, we understand that too. But I appreciate your time, Greg, for sure.
All right, I'll get out of here. JYD is the 160-pound Beterbiev. I'm calling it now.
Ooh, you heard it from
Greg,
Greg. You heard it from
oh,
Greg Haggard. Quotable. Clip that.
Greg.
Clip that. Clip that.
I'm calling it now.
You know what's funny, Greg? You know what's
What?
funny? We actually we actually
Bless
study Beterbiev a lot, believe it or not.
you.
We actually do study Beterbiev a lot, man. Especially before you go, just in short, a lot of people look at the Anthony Yard fight. I'm not even gonna talk about the football fight. That's still touchy and people don't want to. But look at the Anthony Yard fight when Anthony Yard fought Beterbiev. the ability that Beterbiev had to cut the ring off properly, and to set up certain shots and to set up that hook and to set up traps. Anthony Yarde fought his ass off that fight. You can't act like he didn't. He fought his fucking ass off. It was a good ass rumble. But when you look at the control and the ring generalship that Beterbiev had, his ability to cut the ring off, that's another lost art in boxing, is properly cutting the ring off. Beterbiev 100% was doing an excellent fucking job at that. And if you look at the Bivol fight, which was close, we watched that fight together, Greg. You, me, and everybody else that was on the Danny card. We all watched that fight together. And it was some back and forth on who thought what and things like that, which is fine. It's boxing. But I think it could have went either way or a draw, to be honest with you. But if you look at the if you also, like I said, look at the ring generalship of Beterbiev in that fight. Look at the ring generalship of Bivol, but Beterbiev was making the ring small in times. He was setting up certain shots at times. It's just different things that if you watch the fight and you're not biased, because before a boxer, or before me being a fan of a boxer, I'm a fan of the sport first. So I use the example, in closing, I use the example of this. When Ray Leonard fought Marvin Hagler, I like Marvin Hagler more than I like Ray Leonard. I do. I love Marvin Hagler. But I do believe that Hagler lost the fight by 2 rounds. You have to look at why and what happened in the fight. If you're going to look at it, you're going to do it, you got to break it down and break it down right. Marvin Hagler should not have started an orthodox. Marvin Hagler should not have went in there with a game plan thinking, I'm going to outbox Leonard, because you're not going to outbox Leonard no matter how long he's been laid off. And that's also not your style. As well as the fact that Leonard won the first 4, Hagler won the next. The 9th round was a swing round, but I gave it to Hagler. The 10th round was clearly a Leonard round, and then the last 2 rounds. So it was even up until the last 2 rounds, in my opinion. But you got to take the bias out. If I was biased, I would say Hagler won. I can't say Hagler won because I'm a fan of the sport first. So my emotions mean nothing when it comes to the fact of boxing. Facts don't care about feelings. So that's how you got to look at that Beterbiev Bivol fight. And, we study a lot of Beterbiev.
Question for you real quick, Greg. Why do you say he's the 160-pound Beterbiev? Is it his power or what exactly?
Because I've been in the ring with a lot of guys at a lot of weight classes. And I remember certain things about a lot of people I box. And one thing JYD is physically, physically, no matter where he is, he's strong. You know what I'm saying? If it's inside, if it's outside, even if he on defense, he's strong. He's sturdy. So his style is getting better and he's getting cleaner. It's not even that he becoming a boxer. It's just he getting smoother at his style, walking you down, right? But it's like one of the strongest motherfuckers I ever been in the ring with. I ain't been in there. I ain't been in there with too many people probably stronger. I mean, that's why I said top 5. Like, he top 5, one of the strongest I've been in the ring with. So, and that's different weight classes. And he only fighting at 160. So that's why I say he the 160 Beterbiev, because I can imagine when the fight's getting tougher and the rounds are going longer, he's only going to get meaner. You know what I'm saying? That's what I can imagine him being. So
yeah, I see.
That's why I think the JYD, the nickname, is fitting.
Yeah,
fact,
junkyard dog.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Greg. Seriously.
Nah, for sure. The junkyard dog, seen him live and up close, and you're right. I've seen some foreshadowing and some foresight of what's to come, and we definitely excited. And I want to take that and transition into Jay. You have 4 fights already this year. Very active year for you. You're headed for your 5th fight. What does it mean to you to be this active, in a year, especially early on in your career?
That's just the name of the game. For me, at least, I stay in the gym. This was the first time after a fight where I took a week off, and I only took a week off to be with my family because I have been fighting nonstop this year. So my family has been missing me. So I took the week off to make up some time with my family. Today was my first day back in the gym, and it was phenomenal. We did about, I believe, 20 rounds today. Even when I was out of the ring, I was still doing maintenance work, which a lot of fighters don't do. You'll take time off and you don't do the maintenance work. I still do the maintenance work. I'm still active. My job overnight requires me to walk at least 5 miles a night on a light night. That's my lightest night. I'm walking 5 miles a night because of my job. So I'm steady drinking at least in the gym. You'll drink a gallon of water in the gym alone, and then at night for my job, I'm drinking a gallon because it's all coming out of me. I'm just going to the bathroom nonstop, and I'm drinking a gallon or a half a gallon at work at night because I'm walking nonstop. So I do the maintenance work, and that's just the name of the game for me. Not to sound like some scripted bullshit. Like just tell me what
Nah.
yeah, we live in the gym. Like this is what I do. It's funny. Breadman, after the fight, Breadman called me on Monday, and he called me and then he hung right up. But I thought I missed his call, so I called him back and we laughed on the phone for about 10 minutes. He was like, "Man, Jay, we ain't got no fucking lives. I'm used to you being in the gym directly after a fight." And then I look, I'm like, "Oh shit, I told Jay not to come." And it's funny, shit like that happened because we just laughing like, damn, like, and this was a long week for me. Like, I'm getting on my wife's nerves. Like, I'm trying to get back in the gym. I'm shadow boxing them. I'm fucking doing all this because I'm trying to get back. I'm itching to get back in the gym, and they telling me like, can you just chill and just enjoy being off? And it's hard because that's not what I'm used to. So, staying active and staying in the gym.
Can we expect the same kind of pace from you next year? 5 fights in a year in 2024. How many next year are you looking for?
I can't
Ideally.
tell. I can't tell the future, but what I do know is this: what I love to stay active, absolutely. Also, I don't control. So it's funny. Even in the gym, Breadman asked me. He might rarely ask me a question like, "Yo, Jay, for example, he might be like, "Yo, we running tomorrow, right?" Whatever the fuck you say. I don't control I don't control nothing. I don't control a single thing about my career. I do what I'm told and I shut up. In the gym, that's how I train. If Breadman tell me something, yes, Breadman's a teacher first, so he always explains whatever it is that he's saying. But Breadman don't gotta explain shit to me. He don't have to explain a goddamn thing to me. He tell me what to do and I do it. I don't worry about nothing outside of being in the gym and do what I'm supposed to do in fighting. I don't need my brain in the ring. I do what I'm told. You know what I mean? Of course, you make your adjustments, all that shit, but no, I do what the fuck I'm told to do, and that's it. I do what I'm told to do, and I make it happen. Period. I know what to do when I get in the ring. I know what to do with all the. So, do I want to fight 5, 6, 10 times next year? I would love to, but if Breadman tell me to fight 20 times, then we gonna fight 20 times. If he tell me to fight 3, it's gonna be 3, and any other number up in between.
Say less. Say less. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with Jay, Jay's definitely an experienced fighter. Like he just told you, he sparred Greg Hackett, right? Somebody I know. But definitely sparred a lot of other experienced fighters as well. And I wanted to talk to you about that because somebody that you've actually shared the square circle with and you sparred with and then training with is Caleb Plant, right? So first question is just what was that work like, you and Caleb?
Great work. Caleb is one thing. It's funny. People kind of got a weird notion about Caleb in the sense of they think he's a type of way, but he's not. Caleb and Julian have this thing where they're actually cool as shit. They're men first, and they're not going to let you play with them no type of way. Like they're not going to let you violate or disrespect them. Chiron is also the same way, but Caleb and Julian are kind of like more like that. Like, if you be around them, it could cause problems because people will say like they're standoffish or something like that. So people got this weird notion about Caleb, and no, the nigga's cool as hell. But as far as the sparring go, it was great work. I think we might have did about 6, it may have been like 6 rounds. I think we did. When we had work, we worked a time or two, but whatever the case, the last time I know the last time we worked it was about 6 rounds, and it was great work. It was back and forth. It was I learned some shit. He learned some shit. He had good distance. He has a great jab. My inside work was great for him. My style was great for him, and vice versa. And some people will try to act like Caleb can't punch, but I've been in there with Caleb Plant, and Caleb Plant got
Talk to me
pop.
about his power for sure.
Yeah, he got some pop on his shit. He got some pop on his shit. He does. What I mean, if you get caught with it, he'll definitely put you out if you get caught with it. So you know what I mean. Like I said, it was definitely great work. you know, when he comes to the city, is always a blast getting work with him or work with him in general in any fashion. So, you know, yeah, it was great work. You know, it was great work.
So if you had to rate Caleb's power, where would you put his power? Because a lot of people, like you said, they question that. But you seen he just had a tough fight with Trevor McCumbee, and he came back like a dog, got him out of there. So where would you rate his power?
It's weird how I rate his power because his power is tricky. Because see, he has a thing where you think like he'll because he knows how to turn his power on and off. So like he'll lull you to sleep with some shit and then let that go for a round or two, and then out of nowhere, boom. So it's just like it's like a sneaky power. I can't really put a number on it, but I remember when we was having an inside exchange at one point, and he had threw a shot, and it was actually the same. And I'm this is not even being funny or smart enough, but he threw the same exact shot that he threw on Darrell, and he threw the hook, and when he threw it, I kind of like flipped back a little bit, and it like just touched my chin. But when the shit touched my chin, I was like, "Oh, I see. I'm not getting caught this shit." Because sometimes when Julian was the first person I want to say on a world class level, I feel like that did that to me. He caught me with a shot when we first ever sparred. This was like over a year. This was literally
Julian Williams, right?
Julian Williams caught me with a shot, and when he caught me with the shot, it felt like his hand ripped through the fucking glove. Like I felt every single knuckle in his hand. Like he had on his proper 14s and all that. He had 16 ounces and all that shit. He had on his proper 16s and all that. But when the way he snapped the shot, boom, and I felt every knuckle in his hand, and I said, I'm not getting caught with that shit again. I'm not getting caught with that again. That's kind of how Caleb, that shot was when he threw it. It might not have been clean, but when it grazed me, I was like, ooh, if that would have touched me, I would have felt it. So you don't want to get caught with shit like that. So he has sneaky power. I can't put a number on it, but it's sneaky.
Nah, for sure. So somebody, I don't know how likely it is because of the politics and the business in boxing and where this other man's career could be going at the moment. But somebody that obviously they put Caleb in the mix with is Edgar Berlanga. So just from the outside looking in, and from your experience with Caleb, how do you see that fight if it would have ever actually come to fruition? How do you see it playing out?
I think it will come to fruition, to be honest with you. What I think is, honestly speaking, yes, Berlanga has confidence because of his last fight. So he believes in himself. He definitely believes in himself. But I do think that Caleb Plant is eventually going to be too much for him. I think that Caleb Plant is a better inside fighter than him. And as we can see from the fight with Trevor McCumbee, when the adjustment needed to be made to get to the inside, we saw how that shit went. So he boxes better. I don't think anyone's going to argue that. He boxes better than Berlanga. So it's not like Berlanga, in my opinion, it's not like Berlanga's going to outbox him. That's not happening. And if it goes to the inside and Caleb got to sit in the inside with him, I think Caleb is going to suffocate and smother Berlanga's punch power. And honestly speaking, I think he, if it does go to distance, I think it'll be unanimous. And if it doesn't, I think it gets stopped in about 10.
There you go. Questions about CP a different way, Caleb Plant looking a different way. We all saw it, we saw the skirmish with him and Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo seems to be on the comeback trail. If that fight would have happened, and especially with Jamal having a long layoff, actually backing up, what did you think about that slap when it happened? And two, how do you see that fight going? Jamal Charlo versus Caleb Plant.
When it happened, I was just like, Caleb, I'm gonna say this because we talked about it. Me and you talked about it a few days ago. Before I got into boxing, and I'm not glorifying it because I'm strictly against it. I'm a huge advocate of get the hell out of the streets and stay out the street. But before I was boxing, I was definitely outside. And yeah, people knew better than to play with me any type of way in them fashions. Because I don't really have an in between. I'm either playing and I'm happy, or is on 10. I don't have much of an in between at all. So if somebody grabbing your beard or touching you in a violating type of manner, and you like, hey yo, listen, this ain't that, and then they continue to do so, absolutely, you have a right to defend yourself. I also live by a code of, if you violate me or disrespect me, don't tell me the limits to take it to. So you can't tell me, oh, you know, I'm a doink. This is a doink for anybody who don't know. When you do this to somebody here, you doink them.
Shout out to Philly.
If you doink me, you can't tell me the limits to go to disrespect. You can't tell me the limits to go. You can't tell me. So you might doink me, and I'm liable to spit in your face and then take it to the next level after that. Because you can't tell me no level to violate you after you violate. There's no rules for violation.
No rules for reaction, right? That's what they like to say.
Yeah, you can't tell me once you violate me, I was up there. So Caleb felt violated, and he even warned the man and said, I was not present, but from what was on video and from what Caleb also said, like it was a thing of, you violated me, and hey, don't do that. And then a violation happened again. We men first, and you gotta carry yourself like a man no matter where you're not gonna boy me. You're not gonna boy me. And I think that's what Caleb got, but you're not gonna boy me, bro. Like, that's even with boxing, like, fuck boxing. We get in the ring and that shit get hot. I don't care about boxing, dog. I'm gonna try to take your life. Like, it don't even got nothing to do with wins and losses at the end of the day. If you touch me a certain way, or if this shit getting hot and we really into it in the ring, bro, man, this ain't even about me winning the fight no more. Like, when that bell rang, now I'm about to really try to earth you, and I'm sure you're gonna do the same thing to me. So it's just, you gotta handle yourself as a man at all times.
Say less. How do you see that fight going though? If they were to fight, how would you see it playing
Charlo
out?
and Caleb playing?
Yeah, Jamal Charlo, Caleb playing.
Well, I don't want to. I'm gonna preface this by even saying I don't really even want to too much, because even Caleb said the same thing in his latest interview. Jamal Charlo, from the outside looking in, I don't know that man, and I don't have nothing against that man at all. I really genuinely don't. I just spoke on a situation in which took place that was public. Now, on a different note, I do wish the best for that man, mental health wise, emotional health wise, physical health wise, etc. Because I don't know his situation, but from the outside looking in, from the world's perspective, he has some things going on that I don't know what they are exactly, but I wouldn't want him to get in the ring until those issues are resolved and he is mentally back to himself. Again, the Caleb Plant issue, I have no horse in the race. I don't have any horse in the race, and I'm just giving my opinion on what happened and why Caleb did what he did. As far as Jamal Charlo goes, anything that he has going on outside the ring with himself, his mental health, his family, etc., I genuinely hope and pray for his best well-being, because don't get in that ring if you are not all the way there, and your health is important. So I would want him to take care of that, and I want to see the best return version of him. And then I will want to give my opinion on it. Of course, Caleb is on the team, and I'm always going to go with my guy, of course. But right now, I don't think it's much of a conversation, because Jamal may not be in the best place mentally, etc., to take a certain level fight. But,
classy response, bro. I appreciate you, Jay. That's dope. Because we definitely look for our fighters to, be in the best potential shape mentally and physically when they come in that ring. That's very important. That's very important.
Yes.
All right, but before I let you out of here, I just gotta, touch on this real quick. For the fans that are unaware, one of the things that really caught my attention about Jay, besides his fighting, right, was just his control and understanding of how to work on social media. I mean, this man, if y'all unaware, got a dope Instagram. He makes really dope content. He's 100% himself and genuine. I think you'll learn a lot about Jay by looking at his content, and he's putting on in that ring. So, first things first, let them know where they can find you, and then just talk a little bit about your social media game and why is that important to you.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram at JYD_world. I believe that might be the screen name on the screen. I don't know if I see the name. I believe it might be that. But my name is JYD_world on Instagram. On TikTok, it's JYD_world TT1. Long story short, I really didn't even want to do social media, but mainly my wife Deja pushed me, and my dad pushed me toward her, like, do it. My wife Bree, she also was like, do it, but Deja and my dad. For anyone who hears this, I'm polygynous. I'm Muslim. I'm polygynous. But my dad was just like, dog, you gotta do it, you gotta do it. And I'm like, man, I always was telling him, like, I was born in the wrong era of boxing, dog. I don't care about no social media. Like, niggas gonna know my name because of the work I put in. I don't care about no social media. Like, I don't care about all that posting spars and all that. I don't care about none of it. And then my dad stayed on my head about it, and I was like, all right, listen, if I do it, I'm going to do it my way. I'm not faking it till I make it. I'm not going to pretend I got some fancy houses and cars and jewelry and designer clothes. I don't. I wear Burlington coat factory clothes. My clothes come out of
Shout out to
Burlington.
Burlington. They
Shout
got
out
good
to
deals. Facts.
Burlington,
Facts.
Ross. If I can find a nice Kohl's or even a Boscov's, I go to stores like that to get my
Shout out
clothes.
to Pennsylvania. Y'all don't know about no Boscovs unless you're in
Yeah,
that
word.
area.
Unless you,
Shout out to
word.
Boscovs.
You know, like I told you the other night, I drive a 2010 Altima with tape holding down the trunk because I broke the damn trunk latch, and the trunk latch ain't up but $20 from the junkyard. But I ain't got time to go down there right now. I got other important things to do. I ain't trying to impress nobody, and my car gets me from A to B. I don't care nothing about that. So that's what I brought to social media. I brought the real side of boxing that most fans and most people in general don't see, because y'all are used to seeing people on pay-per-view make a certain type of money. Even Caleb talked about that in one of his other interviews. Like, he was sleeping on a mattress at his friend's house. You know what I mean? Before he made it, you know, he even had some fights. But the money don't work the way y'all think it does in boxing, man, especially when you're independent, you're not signed to a major label, etc. So I took that with social media. I wasn't always boxing. I used to do poetry. Long story short, my daughter needed open heart surgery at 3 months old. And after she had her surgery, I just knew I needed to do something bigger than myself to make sure that her life would be good. So I started boxing to try to provide a way for my daughter. That was roughly 6 years ago, because she's 6 years old, but I've been boxing for 5 years, going on 6. And you know, she healed from the surgery, great, mashallah, everything. So it was beautiful, but still, you know, 6 years later, I got 6 kids, and you know, I mean, 5 daughters and 1 son.
Bless.
So I still got to take care of my kids. I still got to do what I do. I'm gonna close with this. If you are a boxer in today's day and age, use social media to your advantage. I cannot stress this enough. Use social media to your advantage. You will make more money on social media than you will on boxing, especially when you first start off. If you're using social media as a toy or as something for fun, I hate that for you, and I feel so sorry for you, because you are missing out on all of the opportunities. Social media is currently, by the mercy of Allah, changing my life, and I cannot make this up. From brand deals, to working with big companies, to being able to do give backs to my community, everything. I'm actually about to do a huge raffle in a couple of weeks where there's 3 winners. First place will be winning literally thousands of dollars worth of merchandise and boxing equipment. Second place will be winning thousands of dollars worth of merchandise and equipment. And third place will be winning hundreds of dollars worth of merchandise and equipment, all because of the branded companies that I'm working with and are helping me out with these sponsorships and these things. I'm only able to do this for my community because of social media and boxing. Get on social media, make money, and change your life.
Say less. Say less. So before you go, first and foremost, just want to say thank you, Jay.
Thank
If y'all
you.
didn't know who Erron Peterson is, the Junkyard Dog, goes by Jay. I hope y'all do now. We'll definitely talk again in the future. And I just advise all y'all, man, keep up with all levels of boxing. There's great fighters at all levels, and there's dope fighters coming up that you might not even know about. And today you just met one from Philadelphia. And I'm gonna go ahead and what up, Ty? We're gonna go ahead and get my man Tommy Smokes. But before we do, I forgot to ask you this question. Jay, where in Philly you from? Let the fans know.
I'm from out west. I'm from West Philly. I'm from 56th Street.
There you go. Shout out to Larry's. I've been to Larry's over there on the west side.
On the west side, yeah.
Yeah, them chicken wings is fire. Shout out to Larry's.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
No doubt. Well, Jay, thank you for your time. You're more than welcome to hang out. I know you probably got to go. You're a busy dude, but again, chat. That's my man JYD, the Junkyard Dog. We appreciate
Sorry if I
him
went
today.
over my time too.
No, I did. You good, Jay? I did. I'm a chatterbox. I ask a lot of questions.
I'm about to
You
go
good?
to sleep for work. Shout out Ty. Shout out Greg. Shout out to everybody that's gonna be on this joint. Shout out.